Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin with your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and co-founder at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today, wherever you happen to be tuning in from. It is a fantastic day. Today is Monday, November the 18th, 2019, foul year of our Lord. This is your daily source for market updates, sentiment, and news for traders. So let me know how you guys are doing in the live chat. Very excited, very pumped today. We've got a nice movement in the market, so a lot to talk about. Before we begin, today's episode is brought to you by us. You guys know, if you guys have been looking to sign up with us, but you're wanting to hodl out for a better time, if you're trying to buy in cheaper, the end of the month might be what you're waiting for. So stay tuned because it's been highly requested. We are going to have a fairly large, pretty excited about it, Black Friday sale to our premium trading group as well. That way, if you guys are looking to pick up our rules, utilize our tools for crypto, Forex, and coming soon, stocks and Forex in its whole entirety. Has been working on those systems ad nauseum. But pretty excited about that. So please, guys, stay tuned for that. Now, before we begin, we got a lot to talk about. Premium group updates. So and regular non-premium member updates. So I pushed an update to the Cracking Cryptocurrency Exponential Moving Averages script last night. I'll be going into that in further detail on the stream. This was a quality of life update, basically just taking stuff that I had coded for other indicators and features and functionalities to improve quality of life and putting them into CCEMA. So that's now available. Anybody can go use that at tv.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link is in the description to all our public scripts on TradingView. It's really, really powerful. And we're going to talk about a simple moving average strategy, not with simple moving averages, not with exponential moving averages, that backtests really well. It's an extremely simple strategy and is a really good stepping stone towards becoming a systems trader. If you're looking at the charts and you have a ton of lines and you're using Fibonacci retracements, or you're counter trend trading, you're going long when the market is bearish, you're going short when the market is bullish. And if this has been a problem, I mean, that is just something that is the detriment of individuals who don't have trading systems. So again, I think that starting somewhere with rules is really good. That is a good first step on the way to being a systems trader. And so people are going to knock it, but simple moving average strategies are a great first step. We're going to go over that a little bit later as well. I'm super excited about the website membership integration, making a lot of progress on that. So that's going to make everybody's quality of life better. Obviously, if you guys are community members or just subscribers to the YouTube channel, you guys know that we put out 2 videos over the weekend. We had a chance to put out our first Crypto Currently from San Francisco Blockchain Week, where I got to meet with Kapil Amarasinghe, who is the UK ambassador to Particle. We had a great conversation. That video is live on our YouTube channel, so make sure you guys go check that out. Got a lot of warm reception from that. I really enjoyed doing the interview. It was a great time. We're going to have a lot of other great interviews coming out here soon. I believe the next video that's going to be coming out is me sitting down with Silvio Macaulay. He is the founder of Algorand, and we had a great opportunity to sit down and talk at length, not only about obviously his pedigree as a computer scientist, but the state of cryptocurrency. We talk a little bit about Algorand as well. We talk about a lot, so that's a very, very, very good interview. Definitely trying to focus on things that engage me and interest me. And I think that's why our interviews are so entertaining, because I ask what I'm genuinely interested in. Secondly, we also put out the first ByBit tutorial series, the first ByBit tutorial video in our ByBit trading series that is live and public on our YouTube. Thank you guys so much for all the likes, for the comments. You guys are really great. If you guys, and that information can be applied to any exchange. So if you want a good foundation on if you're going to be trading cryptocurrency or signing up for any exchange or really any online service, and you want to know how to do that privately and securely, that video is absolutely essential. I want to give a huge thanks to Jack for putting that video together. He did amazing work. So my hat's off to you, sir. Kudos. Okay, let's see here. Got a lot to talk about, man. Got a lot to talk about. So with that being said, also the other thing too as well, the ByBit Brawl. The ByBit Bitcoin Brawl registrations are live right now. And again, ByBit has nominated me, registered me as a team captain. So I am a team captain. We're going to do absolutely fantastic this year. I'm really, really happy about it. If you guys would like, let me make sure I got all the information. As it sits right now, the link's right there. I'll flash it on the screen. You guys can go to bybitbrawl.crackingcryptocurrency.com to join up for our team. If you guys are not on ByBit, you can go to bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com to register. If you do that today or tomorrow, you will get an additional $60 welcome bonus on top of the stuff that they regularly do. So pretty good opportunity to grab some free margin trading funds and compete with us, because anybody that's on the team, if we do quite well, will receive a portion of the winnings. And it's a 100 up to 100 BTC prize pool as it sits right now, depending on how many people register for the event. So really excited, putting together all the machinations of how we're going to do that, because we are going to be doing lower time frame trading as well. We're tuning up the systems, getting them nice and optimized. So I'm really, really happy about that. Anyways, guys, you know what we do at the beginning of every episode. I want to thank this month's crypto comment giveaway sponsor, Spectre Security Coin. Make sure to go check them out at spectresecurity.io for all your security needs. We're going to go give away some crypto and hop into the scene, because as you can see on the chart behind me, we've got some interesting activity going on in the market. So let's do this, guys. All right, here we are. And YouTube comment picker. 25 commenters on Friday's video. Have you been lied to about Bitcoin? Monthly low breaks. Are sellers in full control? Verge pump. Oh, dear Lord. Randomly picking a winner, and it is Matt. This looks like mispronunciation, but here we go. Not a misspelling. I'm sure he spelled his own name right. Matt Greezicki. Feel free to boo me in the comment section if I mispronounce that. He says, first video I've watched of yours, definitely need to get caught up to speed. Well, we are here every single day, so plenty of opportunity to get caught up. Thank you for the support, my friend. Get a hold of me in the Discord at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com, and I will tip you some crypto, my friend. Or you can simply join the Spectre Discord, go into the Botsman channel and register, and I can tip you directly on the server as well. That way you don't have to download the wallet client. Anyway, you want to do that. Let's get into the live scene, guys. So much to talk about. All right, here we are. Everything's good. Let's do the roll call as we typically do. How we doing this morning, everybody? Shout out to everybody over there on YouTube, especially D-Live. How are my D-Livers doing today, man? Monday, fun day. We got Mr. Ether and John Dunn, Larry Z, Staff Sergeant of the Marines. Are you really a Staff Sergeant? Wendy, we've got Crypto Comedian Treese is up in the house. Roy Coin, Blockchain Gains, Dark Rico, Prophet Bear, Ricky Thompson, Ron Legato, JJ Beach Bum, All in the Mind 2006. What's going on, my good friends? Caprica, as always. Dubatati Ibrius. Mass Stash, what's up, my friend? Okay. We got a lot. We got a lot to talk about. Why not Cyber Monday sale? Well, you know, I don't know. I don't make all the decisions around here. I'm sorry. Okay. So, we got a lot to talk about. Okay. So I think we'll just go over general analysis, talk about my position. I'm actually flat on Bitcoin right now. I think that's the exact right place to be for me anyways with my strategy. I'm in the process of taking, okay, so flat on Bitcoin. I'm in the process of taking profits or looking at my altcoin positions, because those have performed quite nicely for me. So I've added, over the last 4 or 5 days, added fairly significantly to my BTC stack. I've had a lot of altcoin trades that have gone very, very, very well. In fact, the hit rate on that has been around 75% because of the about 18 positions I opened up. Only about 3 or 4 have been losers. So it's quite good. The alt market has been very exciting. And, I do want to make a broader point about the market, which is that if I look at kind of where everybody is focusing their attention, if I pay attention to what people are talking about, if I pay attention to, what trades people are taking, I'm noticing something very similar that happens over and over and over again, especially in the Bitcoin altcoin market, where individuals get hyper focused on Bitcoin when Bitcoin is largely boring, and they largely miss out on the alt gains because they are, they're hyper focused on, is there that big, $5,000 movement coming in, that big $1,000 movement coming in? I got to catch the next Jericho candle. I got to catch it with leverage. I got to go for the moon. I got to go down to the dumps. And I think, again, just as somebody who trades the broader market and trades everything with a lens of systems, following my system, applying discipline, being patient, taking my profit over a long series of trades, with a strong emphasis on not losing money being my primary goal, and less of a goal on making money. I just want to contrast that with a lot of people who are looking for the scalp with high leverage to make a lot of money, and they look at Bitcoin as a roulette wheel, as a piggy bank that just because of its volatility can return heavily. And although that is exciting and intoxicating when you do grab a very large trade with large leverage and you make a lot of money, remember that wheel spins both ways, and it is the opposite of intoxicating, maybe quite sobering, when that roulette wheel spins against you. And unfortunately, those individuals do take large losses. And that's not what we're about here on this channel with our trading strategy, what we teach in the group. That is nothing that we do. We are about preserving capital so that we can grow and harnessing Bitcoin's volatility to provide either an alternative to a 9-to-5 job or to allow an individual to take control of a portion of their portfolio that they feel comfortable investing or trading with cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin and its derivatives. So making that statement, I always feel like it's important to focus on that. And again, and this is just because I've worked with so many students lately who are not, again, largely most of them are exactly where they want to be going through the course. But the newer students that I talk to, or people that are not in the group that I talk to, this is kind of what I've noticed over the past, I want to say month or so, is that people are becoming, again, just as we were down at 6K, just as we were down at 3K, people being focused, hyper-focused on BTC, when BTC is largely boring, rangy, and choppy, and excluding where the other opportunities are in the market, and i.e. therefore ignoring hedging, ignoring protecting their stack, and therefore probably taking cuts to their USD value when they should not be, because to me, I feel like the option is quite clear. This is the time, or it was the time a while ago. But being hedged up on Bitcoin is largely critical, not only from a purely technical standpoint, but even on a more nuanced technical standpoint. If we just look at market structure and we realize that Bitcoin had a large run up, again, Bitcoin is highly volatile, and so therefore it overperforms and it also overcorrects. But we consolidated for a long point of time. And what did we do? Did we break up from that? Did we break up from 9,000? No, we did not. We broke down from 9,000, establishing the trend, at least of the breakout, as bearish. And we haven't seen that. Now, again, even I was slightly surprised. I was quite surprised, actually, by that 42% movement to the upside in the form of those two Jericho candles. I mean, they were absolutely, they were quite random, to be quite honest. And we had an area of the market where BitMEX funding was extremely positive. Shorts were being actively incentivized. And we can see that spring that occurred, that stop loss hunt that occurred right here at this point in time. And just this cascading trigger of stop losses affected in a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Vulnerable area of the market. And again, I have been, one of my consistent refrains in looking at this has been, it would be very, very unlikely if we didn't get follow through on that. But you don't trade, I will not allow that opinion to affect my trades or the trades that I put on. Just because I expect to see follow through on this doesn't mean that I will allow myself to disregard the technical setup that my system gives me. Hedged. Hedging is the absolute best way, and I go over to all the members as well. I believe I've talked about it at length in many, many, many of the videos about how to hedge up utilizing just futures contracts. Options are more complicated. I do not want a lot of people jumping into options because they think that's the new hot thing. Options are risky in traditional markets. They're even more so on cryptocurrency derivatives markets. Now, I have nothing wrong with options if one knows how to utilize them properly, but options, again, get you into that same kind of problem with high leverage gambling. Does allow you to hedge, but it's not as smooth and easy and simple as simply taking a short position and going into a pseudo cash basis, right? That is a very simple way to put yourself in a position where if Bitcoin goes up, you do not lose dollars, which I think is important at this point in time. And if Bitcoin goes down, you do not lose dollars, but you can actually be making BTC and accumulating more Bitcoin, a larger position in Bitcoin as price moves down. And then if you pair that with an enter and exit strategy or a higher time frame or whatever portion of your system, we go over this in the form of the baseline in the course. If you're pairing that with an indicator that allows you to know, okay, when should I be reestablishing my position? Or maybe you're using VPVR, you're looking at support and resistance lines, whatever part of your strategy that is, as long as it's back testable, as long as it's systematic, as long as it is rules based, I think you'll be doing much better. But with that being said, okay, so we are in a flat position on BTC right now. We have an interesting area of the market. We've got funding in about 2 hours. Now, the funding rate on BitMEX is actually positive, meaning that longs are paying shorts. What does that put us potentially in a situation? It puts us in a potential squeeze situation. Now, we talked about this on Friday. We already cracked the order block, the area of consolidation, the area of demand that we were trading into, meaning that is largely invalidated right now. We do have new lines on the chart now, slightly updated with a little bit more nuance. We do still have, and price currently trading at 82.70. So that still matters. I want to say that area can matter. To me, it's less of an important level of demand at this point in time. It was 82.30 down to 79. But if we look out at a broad, these lines are going to be where our areas of VPVR are. Probably my favorite subjective indicator, if I go ahead and put that out there. But again, if we just look at things like the other thing is this too. I was analyzing, volume data over the weekend, looking at delta divergence and looking at cumulative volume profile, and seeing that obviously it's kind of a no-duh situation if we just kind of step out and say, well, clearly there are more aggressive sellers than buyers right now, but it's kind of more so than that. If you pair that with the BitMEX funding rate, if you really pair that with the knowledge that, or the analysis, when you can just go see the data, that the strength, that there is aggressive market selling happening, that there was aggressive market selling happening, that there was delta divergence in the form of buyers stepping in. You can obviously see that in the form of the large divergence that led to that Jericho candle. But again, that was another situation in which shorts were actively being incentivized to open up positions, paired with a level of demand on the chart, very significant level. And we kind of find ourselves in that exact position right now, where shorts are being actively incentivized, and there is divergence in the cumulative volume delta in the form of aggressive market buying. Now, again, that is not something that we talk about a lot, but that is kind of drilling down into what is actually happening on the order books and looking at those areas right there. I had sensor charts pulled up open earlier. Perhaps we'll go look at that a little bit later on, but I just kind of want to go through general signals being signaled right now on the daily. So on the daily, with that being said, for those who are looking for a reentry signal, potentially, this will be one on the daily close as we continue to kind of slip further and further and further into the bowels of El Diablo here with aggressive market selling, cracking that previous low where we were trading at. And I'm quite happy to be in that hedged position. Game BTC. Can I look at it? Of course, Eli back. I would be happy to. See, that's a good man. He's like, Bitcoin, whatever. Altcoin markets are exciting right now. Let's go look at Game BTC. Let me put that here on the schedule, my good friend. Okay, so I want to make sure I stick to, I want to hit all the points that I want to talk about because we got a lot to talk about today. Okay, so what do you see on the chart right now is a different, actually, it's not different, it's Hall Moving Average 20. It tests well with, I want to talk about that. So if we go and look at the CC EMA script, which I talked about, I updated. So here's the Kraken Cryptocurrency Exponential Moving Averages script. You can get this at tv.krakencryptocurrency.com. Now you can adjust this for Hall Moving Averages, and you can select, you can just use the defaults. This is generated with just the defaults. This is Moving Average 1 and 2 on crossover functions. And this simple strategy backtests actually really well. Backtests really well. And I think that is a good feather in the cap for those who are trying to take their first steps towards systems trading and don't have a systemic approach. Either they don't have the coursework, or they don't have the mentor, or they don't have the mentors, or they don't have the community to kind of support them and teach them. And all they really have access to is Twitter and crypto Twitter and whatever their analysis of the charts are. I think that the HMA moving over crossover strategy is actually pretty attractive or pretty good, especially for somebody who's a beginner. Now, it's and people are gonna say negative things about simple moving average strategies, or a simple moving average strategy, not an SMA strategy. But that's where many start. That's where many start. It's a good anchor point. And I think a lot of people kind of blow past that and don't focus on that. But it gets you in the habit of trading with the trends and instills the discipline for systems trading. So I think it's a good step along the path to become a systems trader. And it's also, interestingly enough, in my latest optimization runs, been showing the best P&L as a baseline. And that's on almost all the tests that I've been running, even running up against the 30-period Donchian, which I've been using for quite a while. So I'm going to be live trading it for the next few months, so I can run my live results against my historical data and see if my assumption is correct. Okay. What's up from Toronto, my friend? Jericho candles are only positive or both negative and positive. Generally they're referred to as only positive because there's like, it's like Jericho, like the walls of Jericho. A story from the Old Testament. But I suppose you could. It's just a colloquial term. It doesn't have any technical any strong technical reference, to be quite honest with you. All right, so let's say I talked about overall trend, especially if we look at things like the weekly and the daily. We already looked at that. Overall trend is bearish, therefore hedging is absolutely critical. Again, looking at volume metrics like cumulative volume delta and delta divergence, although we are seeing aggressive markets buying stepping in, there is not evidence of trend reversal in the order book at this point in time, if you combine that with the BitMEX funding rate as well. So there is a potential reentry short signal on the daily close. And now I just want to kind of zoom out. I want to zoom out and, which we are kind of zoomed out, but let's look at this area right here. And I want to go back to this theory of why in this area is Bitcoin extremely choppy? Why is Bitcoin, for some individuals, difficult to trade? More so if individuals have slower or smoother trend following signals. Unfortunately, they're going to be getting signals close to the bottom of a trend reversal. They're going to be getting long signals close to the top. And this is an area where either they want to look and optimize, because that generally means that they've only optimized their system on very, very, very strong trends. And they're most likely missing a component of their strategy, i.e. probably a volume or volatility filter to keep them out of more choppy areas. It also could be that is just going to be the areas where they're going to have drawdown, because any system that you build is going to have its areas where it has its drawdown, and you can identify those visually and you can attempt to optimize for those. That's where you want to start. But you also want to make sure that when optimizing for those areas, that you don't actually reduce the overall effectiveness of your strategy in the first place. You have to be comfortable when you build a system that you don't hyper optimize it, because if you hyper optimize a system for the best P&L, for the best percent profitability, for the best win-loss ratio, that's typically not going to perform as well as you think it will under live events, under live circumstances over a broad period of time, because you've hyper optimized it for historical. And it also most likely will be a system that will not work very well on any other chart, because again, you've optimized it to the particular parameters, to the particular market history of one asset chart. And that is typically not the best way to build a system. Hyper-optimized systems do not perform that well. They're very difficult to automate, and they just don't perform that well in live events. They look good on backtesting. But we talked earlier about why in this area, roughly between like 9,000 and 6,000, which is a wide range, but Bitcoin is a highly volatile asset, why we've seen the most chop here. This is where we consolidated in 2018. This is where we ran into initial resistance in 2017. This is where we ran into initial resistance in 2019. And that's where we find ourselves again in a not strongly trending and a fairly choppy area of the market in the later portion of 2019. It's because my argument is that if we look at the broad chart, this area has established itself as the fair market value. If you look at things like the Mayer multiple, if you look at a lot of my interpretation, anyways, your interpretation can be different, but a lot of Willy Woo's charts, for example, a lot of things that are trying to determine like fair market value, maybe the 200 simple period moving average on the daily or the weekly. If you look at whatever metric that individuals look to define, like what is the fair market value. So basically the mean of what mean reversion strategies are built around. I think that a lot of those indicators and that analysis is going to point toward this range. And it's obviously quite wide because Bitcoin is a new asset class. Therefore, the mechanism or the vehicle of price discovery is fairly cumbersome at this point in time. It's fairly highly speculative. That leads to its volatility. There are also intrinsic factors to Bitcoin itself that also lend itself to this volatility, that push this price discovery wildly around this range. But I don't think it's a coincidence that we consolidated here, or that we ranged here back in 2018 on the way down from the previous all-time high, that we ranged here for just a little bit on the run-up in 2019. But it's possible to view the blow-off top, so to speak, back in June of 2019 as an overperformance, right? As an overperformance where Bitcoin was valued too high at that point in time for the market. And obviously we can see the market did correct and is pushing Bitcoin's price back down closer to its fair market value. And that's why I think that this range can be historically a little trickier to trade. Now, obviously, back in 2018, you had some very nice, beautiful trends to the upside and the downside. As we got further into the end of 2018, those trades became extremely difficult to take until you got to around September, October, where basically Bitcoin trading on anything that was not a lower time frame was basically not profitable until you had that nice breakdown in November, at the end of November, towards the middle of November, excuse me. And I think that's kind of exactly where we find ourselves again. So, this is more for the point of like long-term predictions or looking for the halvening or looking for where is Bitcoin's price going over the next 6 months. I think it's probably going right here where it belongs. It's probably going right here. And when we finally get into a situation where we either have, which potentially we're looking at right now, but again, I would look for this more down around 7,000, maybe in the mid sixes. I think all the people that are talking about $3,000 and $4,000 Bitcoin are pretty not accurate. I don't think that's not what we're looking for. Could we see the scrape of the bottom of this range close to the low to mid sixes? Yeah, that's possible. I could see that. I'd be really, really interested to see what price does here around 7,000. And again, does represent a potential level of support. Again, around 7,771 is actually where the VPVR level are. I wouldn't ignore the psychological of 7,000, but again, that area would be very, very interesting to me to see what reaction we get off that level. But again, other than that, low 65s, low sixes. I don't realistically see price going much lower than that because again, that is testing the bottom of the overall fair market value range that Bitcoin finds itself in. Now, insofar as this affects my trading, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm a systems trader, so I'll just simply take the signals that my system gives me. But insofar as looking at the broader picture of what Bitcoin is doing and why Bitcoin is doing what it's doing, I don't think that, again, whales, manipulating price, Tether, FTX, it doesn't matter. All of those things are, after the fact. All of those things are justifications for why price is doing what it's doing. When I think the clearer explanation is that this is an area where the price discovery mechanism of Bitcoin is extremely aggressive, and the particular strength of bulls or bears or buyers and sellers is less dominant, and the battle between bulls and bears is more dominant. When you have a strongly trending market, it's not a battle, it's a slaughter, right? If price is just shooting up to the upside, that's not a battle between bulls and bears. That's a rout. Like the bulls are winning, right? The bears are getting the bears are getting their pants beat off. And if you look at a very strongly trending bearish market, that's not a battle, that's a rout, right? The bears are whooping the crap out of the bulls. But in an area of ranging, you have a battle, right? It's an active battle. That's where mean reversion strategies become profitable. That's where reversal strategies to a degree can become profitable. But again, as long as you have, in my opinion, the correct trending system that fires at the right times because you've backtested it and you've optimized it and you live traded it and you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for. I still think that's the best way because that's what you're going to need to take. That's what you're going to need to take over for you when price does make an unexpected run for the hills or breakdown. You also don't want to be waiting if price goes down to 6,000. You don't want to be waiting until we get back up above 9,000 to be, oh, well, price is bullish now because that's what you're going to hear on every other YouTube channel. Well, below 6,000, we're bearish and above 9,000, we're bullish. Like that's not very helpful to trading. That's fat. We need to trim that. Okay, let's see here. Yep. Okay. So we talked about the funding rate being positive as well, meaning longs are still paying shorts right now, which is kind of unnatural for me. It's kind of unnatural, I feel, in this structure where price has been in a fairly well-pronounced bearish trend for the last several weeks. And that does set us up for a short squeeze scenario. It does set us up for a short squeeze scenario where shorts are being actively incentivized. Everybody is piling money into shorts. Everybody is very, very, very fearful. Now, am I very optimistic about this being the level where we see the short squeeze and price does reverse from here? No, overall not. Again, VPVR would lend credence to that 7,700 level. Overall, looking broadly at order blocks and support and resistance, 7,000 would lead itself to that level. Then below that, we already talked about 6,500 or 6,300, those kind of levels right there, or around that range. Not a strong price horizontal level doesn't pop out at me. It's just a zone of where I highly doubt that price will go below for the foreseeable future. It's quite possible that people are taking $8,000 Bitcoin for granted. But could we see a short, mini short squeeze out of this scenario, like moving forward over the next few days? Yes, we absolutely could, and that's why I'm flat. That's why I am flat. Well, the reason I'm flat is because, again, as I said, running the whole moving average baseline forward for the next few months, and that actually gave an exit signal, and that's fine. Was able to capitalize on all my other trades, really stay hedged, really stay protected, and not be potentially on the wrong side of the market. And that's much better. I'm very, very happy with that because I've increased my BTC on the way to the downside. So therefore, if we do end up getting an exit signal that's slightly lower, and we do end up getting going long on Bitcoin, well, I'll be going long with more capital. But overall, it's been nice to add to my position in Bitcoin, to add to my long-term holdings, because again, I want to point out a big point after saying everything that I just said is zoomed out on a wider time scale, and we'll get kind of zoomed back in more to Bitcoin right here. Zoomed out on a wider time scale, it's very, very difficult for me to be macro bearish right now. I am overall bullish on Bitcoin, but as a trader doesn't necessarily mean I have to be in position. All right. I want to go check in on not ETHUSD, but not on Coinbase. That old tricky ETH-Z19. Still waiting for that to go in my direction. Now we've gotten the counter trend signal, which again is something that I rarely do, the counter trend signal on ETH-Z19, but we'll just wait out. And Ethereum following to the downside, breaking below that range that we had kind of pointed out as well, that range below 181 and 179.85 as well, getting a nice strong daily close below that. So that's again, order block theory, that's a strong bearish signal on Ethereum. As far as Ethereum goes, Ethereum never pulled us out of a short position. Going back here, I was going to be taking the initial position, and then here actually, here on the secondary position. 2 days of drawdown, and then price moving in your favor on the latest signal for Ethereum USD. Let's see here. Do I think VeChain will pump or dump? It's kind of... let's go take a look. Actually, let me stick that one down next to Game, because I do want to cover Game first for Mr. Eli, and then we'll talk about VeChain. I mean, overall, my thoughts are that altcoin markets are quite strong right now. Bitcoin has just made a very large move, so it's unclear exactly how they're going to respond, initially moving to the downside. But this is a bearish move for Bitcoin, not a bullish movement for Bitcoin. So it is... what we've seen over these last, several weeks, and what we generally notice in general, actually over the broadly over the last few months, is that altcoins have held their dollar value better than Bitcoin, right? So even though you can see an alt BTC move down in sats, if you actually go start looking at the USD value, charts, for example, you can see that it's held its dollar value better. Especially low sats. And there is a particular danger there because, again, the slippage on low sats is quite extreme. But those who have been able to play it off well, and those who have been focusing on, again, hedging in an alternative way, which is moving their money into altcoins that have actually held their dollar value quite well and not been in this pronounced downtrend that Bitcoin has been, those individuals have retained capital in a very significant way as well. For example, Holochain, is up significantly in its dollar value. Why? Because it's been almost like a stable coin overall. It ranges, like Holochain is extremely volatile, but it's held its dollar value extremely well if you look at what Bitcoin's doing. Because Holochain has stayed at 10 sats while Bitcoin has moved down, measured against the dollar. Need Bitcoin to dump hard so VeChain can dump? What if that baby just keeps right on going? Before we get into VeChain, I think those are the large points that I talked about and that I wanted to cover for Bitcoin. see what we got. About a 5% candle. So pretty good daily movement to the downside. So congratulations to those profiting off active shorts. Bigger congratulations to individuals hedged and either in a short risk position or maximizing their potential elsewhere where the market is also moving as well. For example, LSK BTC. This is an active position of ours. LSK BTC just hit. We'd already hit take profit 1, but we did hit take profit 2 and 3. Now my trailing take profit did just trigger on this movement to the downside. So this was quite good. I was able to extract more profit off of LSK BTC. But again, this is exactly what I'm talking about, where the markets have been broadly moving. I'll actually pull open my. And also BCH Z19. These are probably my 2 best performers right now. BCH Z19. I had been short on this since here and had set a trailing stop and canceled my TP3. So this baby is welcome to go down as far as it wants to for right now. Again, moving right along with Bitcoin as well. So that's a good alternative. But again, just so that one can accrue their profits in BTC. It depends on what margin you want to increase, to be quite honest with you. Just a different alternative. ETH19 holding its value quite well, which I think is maybe the most interesting thing going on right now. BTC moving down, ETH USD moving down, and ETH9, but Ethereum still outperforming Bitcoin as far as holding value because ETH19 has not moved whatsoever, which is very, very, very interesting. Let's see here. So overall, let's pull back a step and give you guys the answer that everybody always wants. Long or short on Bitcoin. This is not a good thing for Bitcoin. This is a very, very, very bearish sign. As there's a small chance that we do end up getting a short squeeze, in which case we'll get an exit signal here fairly shortly. But I don't think that going short when the dust settles at the daily close or waiting a day, because again, a candle or two of reactionary movement are likely. But again, as I always say, people don't take the trending signal, right? People don't take the trending signal and then they're like, I'm going to enter higher, which is fine, right? But then they don't get filled because they're like, oh, I want to enter way higher. Price puts in 2 little weak baby dojis to the upside and then puts in another big candle to the downside. Remember, don't buy the first bounce. So I would not be ignoring those short signals because again, this would be, with HMA anyways, this will be a re-entry signal for the daily. Okay. And yeah, here you guys go. Here we go right here. Yep, those are all my current open trades right now at this point in time. I've closed out about 3 or 4 winning alt BTC trades. The rest are in profit, or as you can see, if they've moved down, I have my stop loss at break even. So there are no lost trades. I'll have to update this evening at the daily close. This is actually probably higher than this because I know, for example, I'm looking at several trades that are negative, even some of the larger ones that have hit their break even stop loss. Therefore, that trade is closed profitably. But yeah, as you can see, LSK and FZ19 are the best performers of my current open trades at the moment, as well as TRX C19. I'm also short on Tron as well. That is also a good performer. The rest, and this is less clear because now they're down in the 1 to 2% range of profitability. But from the strikeout, you can actually see that we have hit take profit 1 on almost all of these trades. Therefore, they're in no loss situations. They are hard no loss situations. So overall, very, very happy. November is shaping up to be a really good trading month for us as well. And again, just focusing on the markets with the volatility, the markets with the movement, and being less hyper-focused and less hyper-realized on Bitcoin at the current point in time. And that means we can get some doves, because that means, guys, it is 12:40. And I do think that it is high time, after all of this chaos, that we check in with junior analyst Midwest Attempts for today's Bitcoin weather report. Midwest Attempts, what do you have for us today?
As you can see from, what chart is this actually? You ride that trend line down right there. Makes me think a lot about handicap parking spaces, which is completely irrelevant, but you know, what else are you gonna do on a sideways day? And back to you, Justin.
Fascinating, Jason. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Midwest attempts, everybody. Midwest attempts. Okay. Cryptonomics says, how do you put a trailing stop on BCH on ByBit? Yeah, how do you do that? That's a great question. I would like to know because BCH is not on ByBit. That is BCH Z19, which is a BitMEX specific pair. So that trade is on BitMEX. Lisk is an oldie, my friend. Wendy says, just a bullish dump. Wait till the fluffy white bunny turns brown before taking a long... Eternal says, sub 1,000 will come because the United States won't let this fly, knowing China owns most of it and has most of the hash. I just don't agree at all with you. I'm sorry. Bitcoin is global. The United States, any nation state could step in. Potentially, we haven't seen a nation state take a coordinated attack on Bitcoin, but I don't think we're likely to be quite honest with you. We're getting into the realm of, everybody's like, well, there are certain things that trigger reaction. And unfortunately, Bitcoin right now remains, if we think on the global scale, Bitcoin remains an asset class that allows nation states to circumvent international regulation or international sanctions. Look at what Iran and Venezuela are doing. And the only reason we know about Iran and Venezuela utilizing Bitcoin to avoid American sanctions or UN sanctions, and let me rephrase that. There's a reason why the news is reporting on that. So what nation states are utilizing Bitcoin, or what politicians are utilizing Bitcoin, or what malicious actors or what corporations or what companies are using Bitcoin to move funds that they would prefer that international regulators or any nation state regulator not be aware of. I think people don't think about this too much, and I don't want to paint a negative light on Bitcoin, but it is designed to be a currency where you can transact without third-party authority and without third-party scrutiny to a degree, if you set your things up properly, which with OTCs, again, if you have a lot of money, sending Bitcoin anonymously is not difficult. It's not difficult. It's not anonymous in the sense that it's on the ledger, but as far as tying it to a personal identity, extremely difficult. So I think that people don't want to talk about the fact that there are many, maybe Bitcoin is not in the United States' best interest. Maybe it's not in China's best interest, but there are a lot of individual actors within that makeup where Bitcoin does directly benefit them. So I don't think that we're not going to see Bitcoin go anywhere. It's too established. It's too here. It's out of the hands of nation states. And could we see a nation state actually step in and take a coordinated attack on Bitcoin? Yes, but there's a reason why we haven't seen that. It's because Bitcoin is so interesting to so many nation states, and they're sitting here watching this thing, trying to figure out how best they can use it for their own advantage. And again, very similar to Warren Buffett's buy when others are scared and sell when others are greedy. I don't think that any nation state wants to engage in a battle over Bitcoin because they don't know who would step in to support Bitcoin. Mr. Ether is wondering if he should take his gains. You know the answer to that question. If you're asking yourself that question, then it's time to take profit. Without a doubt. Or, again, take half, move your stop loss to break even, and go sip a Mai Tai, my friend, because the trade is now profitable and there's nothing you can do to lose money. Thank you, Cryptonomics. Okay, I need to take a drink of water. Okay. And Peckham, Forza World, thank you guys for the lemons over on DLive, my friend. Tony Rumble, thanks so much for the host, my good friend. And Dude on the Web, highly appreciated for the host as well. I think it's time to throw some lemons in the chest. Stock that chest up, my friend. Excuse me. Audrey, thank you so much. Okay. Oh, yeah, another thing that I wanted to talk about. So let's just go over this real quick, and then we'll hit those requests real quick, guys. So we talked about the Kraken cryptocurrency exponential moving average upgrade. Let's see here. We talked about the, obviously, the particle video and the ByBit videos coming out. If you guys want to support the channel, highly appreciate that. If you guys, you go share those around to your friends, your family, even people you don't like. We put a lot of work into them, and the support is highly appreciated. This Friday and the following Monday, we will not be doing a live stream. I will be traveling. I will not be able to do the live streams. So I will be back on Tuesday for the live streams. But this Friday, this upcoming Friday, the 22nd, and the following Monday, the 28th, I believe. Not 28th. Come on, man. The 25th. I will not. We won't be doing the live streams. But do not fear. We will have content for every single day that we're gone. So starting tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have a new playlist called Breaking Bitcoin Bits, where we're going to take the highest ranked or the most appreciated or the most popular clips from the Breaking Bitcoin live stream that talk about trading issues, that talk about fundamental issues, that talk about social issues, that talk about news. Could be anything. Trading, strategy, whatever. And we'll be putting those up in the Breaking Bitcoin Bits playlist so you guys can capture. This is really good for individuals who want to catch the best parts of the show, but just don't have the time to sit through a 2-hour live stream. That's totally fine. I understand that. I'm very thankful that you guys are very generous with your time. So definitely check that out. The first one is going to be coming out tonight. Make sure you subscribe. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when they come out, but they're going to be coming out every evening at 6 p.m. Every evening at 6 p.m. Now, Friday, I almost said it. Ooh, that was a reveal. My video on how to make your Bitcoin savings indestructible is coming out on Friday. I was going to release it this weekend, but I realized that it'd be nice to put out a full-length video for you guys on a day that I'm not live streaming. So that will actually be coming out on Friday during the noon slot, so you guys have time. Another thing that I'm kind of excited about is coming up here, we are going to have regular live content during the weekend. So definitely stay tuned for that. Definitely stay tuned for that live trading on the weekend. And okay, I also want to talk about, we talked about it earlier. The ByBit Brawl is live. If you guys go to bybitbrawl.crackingcryptocurrency.com, you guys can go sign up for the team right here. And you can actually, you can join now right here. You guys can see the leader is me. And you can copy the link to share this to your friends as well. So anybody that you know is going to be participating in the Brawl, if you guys want to trade with them as your friends on the same team, guys, feel free to share that link and let people know. Also, we haven't really talked about this a lot, but ByBit does have recently pretty much an Android and iOS mobile trading app. So you guys can download that and use it. I don't personally use it because I don't like trading on my mobile device. Again, it's discipline. I like to sit down at my terminal and trade in my station the way that I've done it for many, many years. But for individuals who do like to trade on the go, from what I've heard from the guys in the group that utilize it, it's really slick. It's really sleek. It works really fast. It's pretty fast. So that's good because I've seen a lot of really poor crypto trading apps. So hats off to them. We're going to cover a lot of interesting stuff after the break when we go over the news. Let's take a look at the broader market. Obviously, we can see measured against the dollar, fairly bearish day in the marketplace. In fact, the only coins that are up in dollar valuation are DX, Maximine coin, ERC20, and TT. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what TT is. Thundercore. Welcome to Thundercore. In a world Oh, and LSK. And Tezos. Any other little patches of green that I'm missing there? In a world of random shitcoins, one altcoin dares to be Thundercore. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, guys, I have too much fun. Does anyone else think it's a bit weird, a dump on the ByBit tournament day opener? So the actual competition's not live. Registration is live. The actual competition doesn't begin for a week. So just got to get all that cheap Bitcoin before the competition starts, man. ACDC says, hey, Justin. Thank you for the CC EMA update. You are the great. Thanks, man. We miss you on the weekends. Are there any solutions? Love your show. Watch it every day, including the weekends, your videos. Thanks. Thank you, man. Highly appreciate it. Yes, actually, as I just said, I feel your pain. I miss doing the weekend shows. I'm still not going to be able to do them, but I have an alternative. So we're going to be showcasing some of the senior analysts from Cracking Cryptocurrency. We're going to be bringing them on the live stream. We've been working. They feel a little bit more confident. They're great guys, great traders. And I'm really looking forward to showcasing their talent, showcasing their strategy, showcasing their skills, and letting you guys get to know them as well, just as we continue to grow as a community. So really excited about that, actually. Agency says, I see us ranging for like 2 months while alts get lit. Nothing would make me happier. Nothing would make me happier right now. Okay. 12:52. I think we can bang out these requests. So first, to Mr. Eli back, the man, the myth, the legend. Interesting. This is only showing Twitch stuff. What's on? Game BTC. Okay. Game credits BTC. Thank you so much, Rock, for the 2. I think that's quid. Not sure. Can you take a look at the MATIC BTC daily chart? Yes, of course, my friend. Let me add that to the requests. Game, Vet, and MATIC. I'm assuming these are all BTC pairs, so we'll start off with the Game BTC chart right here. Beautiful. LSK and Game deciding to take a nice run up. Now, this is one that I actually didn't take because I'm not actively trading on Bittrex right now. I'm only trading on Binance. But this is good. Let's just take a gander. Okay, so there's a couple different signals here. The initial long signal from Minx, we wouldn't have been able to take on the day. The very next day, we would have been good to go. You can see here that we do. Just zoom in so you guys can see here. Right here, you guys can see the Minx crossover on the 9th of November 2019, but we closed below the baseline on that candle. But again, I just want to point out, again, the same thing. Minx tends to give you the crossover on a down candle and a cross under on an up candle. It's really actually quite beautiful the way that Minx performs. Now, having said that, the next day we do close above that baseline. So that's a continuation signal. It's a re-entry signal. You can take that. You can take price long. If you would have entered at that point in time, let's go see what your metrics would have been for the trade. Well, we're going to have to do bar replay. Here we go. Oh yeah, you would have been great. You would have never had to worry about your stop loss getting hit. You'd have been in on this candle right here with your stop loss down around 147 sats. And that escalated quickly. But just to be honest with you, there's no exit signal. There's no continuation signal. This was a trade that a Wadatar explosion gave you a long signal right here on the 16th of November, just as Paralox actually did right here on the 16th of November. We actually continued to kind of drift there at that point in time. Yeah, so long signal from both Wadatar explosion and Parallax, which are their own single indicator strategies with programming behind them, or can be utilized in a PTP system. Both those gave you a long signal there. Of course, Minx and PTP gave you an earlier signal over here. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to tell you to enter long on this bad boy. I mean, that's a take profit candle. That's a take profit candle. I feel like I would not be performing any, not even fiduciary duties, because this is just a live stream, my friend. But at the same time, don't exit your whole position. I think alts are bullish. Now, do I think we're going to get another Jericho candle? Probably not. But when alts are bullish, you hold open for that opportunity. This is a situation where, I'm even right now, if you haven't already, my friend, 50% profit comes off the table. Move your stop loss to break even, and we'll wait until we get an exit signal. But congratulations, Eli. You always catch the best. You always catch the best shitcoins. That does kind of seem like an odd time out. Johnny, calm down, sir. Don't get drunk with power, man. Vet VeChain. Let's regroup on Mr. VeChain. Okay, so listen, very similar to what I had said the other day. We were right here. I believe we were right here. And I said, listen, guys, price can pump up maybe another 11%. Don't get greedy. And I stand by that. I absolutely stand by that. Not only are we going to be closing below the baseline today, we also actually got an exit signal over here, and then actually, I don't have my continuation entry right here. Here. So we don't close below the baseline, which is interesting. But a lot of continuations. Let's see. But yeah, we were right here, and I said, again, just marked out this historical area. It's just from VPVR. I said this is an area where we want to begin taking profit, where price is likely to consolidate or distribute. Can price just charge up from here? Yes, of course it can, but I'd want to see a strong close above 96 and consolidation. I mean, geez. So we're going to see some distribution. We're going to see some sideways movement here. It's unclear to me. It's going to take a day or two for me to know exactly how alts are going to respond. Are we going to have like one day of drawdown and then immediately back off to the races because liquidity needs to go somewhere? Are we going to see some significant pullbacks in altcoins before we take another leg up? But either way, unless Bitcoin actually puts in that short squeeze situation that I talked about, where the shorts do get squeezed, and buyers do step in aggressively, and we get that delta divergence that actually moves us up, that actually is a trend reversal, which I don't see happening right now, then that's the only time that altcoins are going to be punished. But that's okay, because they'll actually go up in USD value. I think alts are extremely bullish right now. But that doesn't mean that VeChain in particular, if you look at VeChain in particular, this is an asset where we need to be taking profit right now. And then we'll see, we will reconsider after either prices above 96, or we consolidate for a while, or we get the next trending signal, which right now we don't have a trending signal. Right now we have an exit signal. Right now we're starting to stack up multiple exit signals. In fact, we got an exit signal from Minx. We got an exit signal from our baseline. We're going to be getting an exit signal from Parallax tomorrow, most likely. All right, so it is 1 o'clock, my good friend. We'll take a look at MATIC when we return and knock that one out real quick. Also, when we return, we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin Cash hard fork fiasco, as well as a dive into Bitcoin Cash. We're going to be talking about Ripple's $500 million marketing campaign and Anonymous. You guys remember Anonymous, right? Yeah, the Anonymous, yes, the Legion. They are funding Bitcoin development and taking applications. Stay tuned. We're also going to have a word from our good friends over at ByBit, so don't go anywhere, guys. Go get some popcorn, have a smoke, preferably do some calisthenics, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes. This is Jason when he first learned about Bitcoin margin trading on BitMEX.
Why? Why? Give it back! Give it back! Oh, give it back!
This is Jason 6 months later after signing up for ByBit with the Cracking Cryptocurrency referral link found in the description below. Don't make the same mistake as Jason. Sign up today at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. And we're back, guys. All right, let's get this second hour. If you missed the first hour, you just happen to be tuning in for the news, that's fine. Nothing against you. Okay, got the chat here. Keeping up to date on the chat. Hopefully you guys are doing great today. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. 146. Exciting day in the market. Good stuff. Talked about VeChain. We talked about distribution level. And we need to look at MATIC BTC real quick. On Binance. MATIC is not a buy right now. MATIC is not a buy. We are below the HMA 20. Minx is below the noise line. Parallax is bearish. The only thing that's positive here is commodity channel index being above 0. Wadatar explosion is telling us to stay out. This is not a buy right now. We need to see a couple things happen. We need to see price above 172 sats, which is not a large move for MATIC. That also needs to happen in conjunction with the rest of our system right here. Looking at how close Parallax is to the 0 line or to trend flipping, looking at how close price is to the baseline, and looking at fairly how close price is, Minx is relative to the noise line, it's possible that 2 bullish candles here could give us a nice trend flip. Overall, this one is not a screaming buy to me, sir. This is a chart to stay away from, in my humble opinion, in my trading strategy. This would not be where I'd be focusing my efforts at the moment. Back to Mr. Bitcoin. Let's go take a look at some LTF analysis. Okay, we've got the initial buyback. Let's see here. Got about 6 minutes till this candle closes. Conflicting long signal, conflicting reversal signal. Nothing else is agreeing at this point in time. This is the secondary 15-minute cool off. Go down and look at the 2-hour. 2-hour did very, very well on this movement to the downside. Not only did Parallax signal bearish here, but Minx signal bearish there as well, as did CCI. You got WADA confirmation here, although you had rising explosion level confirmation here, and the 2-hour captured this entire movement. Probably the best meso time frame to trade is the 2-hour. 4-hour caught this one as well nicely. Parallax short signal here, Minx short signal here, CCI short signal here. WADA confirmation on this candle right here. And the 4-hour. So the 4-hour did capture this movement nicely. Let's go look at the funding chart. 8-hour didn't do well on this movement to the downside. 12-hour did not. Daily did not. The daily did well here. Initial Parallax short signal here. Initial Minx short signal here. Let's see, confirmation here, which would have wrote us down to here. Not the most profitable movement on the daily. Also, let me know what you guys think. You know, I've no promises, but I've been kicking this idea around in my head of setting up a 24/7 live stream where I throw one of my systems on and it just does the, you know, it's just the chart, just tracks the chart, and it throws up the buy and sell signals. It'll probably be the 2-hour chart. But where it'll just, you know, it'll just be on all the time, and you guys can come in and hang out and talk when I'm not live. We'll still do the live shows. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about that. It's kind of an interesting concept. I think a lot of people would like that. Would you guys like to see that? That's not what interests you. Just kind of let me know. No promises, but it's just an idea I've been kicking around in my head. And again, the stream allows me to air my thoughts and keep me sane. So. And RLC USD from Mr. Agency. This one does not look extremely interesting or extremely bullish, I would say. Having its USD value drop down along with Bitcoin, meaning it did not hold its value very well. RLC was in a distributive pattern here after a large run up and then a large break to the downside. So continuation does not surprise me. You did get the, again, here's another beautiful example of that. Here is the, let's see, I want to make sure, the 17th of November. Okay, there. Guess that was actually a little earlier. But was that on an up candle? I want to make sure. No, but that one was actually on a down candle. But anyways, after the run up here, you did get the exit signal on the 17th right here. There was a little bit more leg in RLC, but overall entered into distribution. Got the exit signal here and here as well from the HMA, and then continuation to the downside. I guess the only thing that's really interesting here is Parallax. Parallax did get overheated to the downside and has crossed back above the overheated level, which is a warning sign that, hey, potentially you should be looking to take profit because we are getting really overheated again in one trend directional area. Doesn't mean that trend won't continue because often very, very strong trends will continue. Again, I don't think that altcoins very largely are largely as a sector in a bearish trend as far as their USD valuations are considered. Quite the opposite. But again, you have to be careful when picking winners and losers. RLC does not look like a winner to me at this point in time. Even with these wicks to the downside. Does not look like a winner to me, my friend. I would want to see, again, need to see Minx crossover, need to see WADA give me something different, need to see Parallax get bullish, and we're also below the HMA 20. So nothing there that excites. And yeah, you can see the exact same thing on the actual Bitcoin chart as well. Holding its value okay, but again, just not as well as many of the other coins. And I think that's because RLC already had an extremely impressive run up, and is in the, as far as RLC is concerned, is in the opposite direction right now. Got some mixed points on that. Let's see here. Some people saying absolutely no. Some people saying absolutely yes. Maybe we could set it up in the Discord. Wonderful idea. Would be a great idea. Terrible idea. Experiment with it. Do I pay attention to divergence? Not CCI divergence. Fisher transform divergence is okay to look at, in my opinion. Not a big fan of RSI or CCI divergence. It's just too, not to say it never works, but I don't think that it has a very high probability rate. And get you in that, again, kind of reversal mindset, get you in that reversal habit, which I don't think is healthy. Definitely should. Great idea. I'll talk it over with the team. We'll see what kind of sounds the best. It was super popular until he joined these other two yahoos. Well, there's a lot of yahoos in this space, my friend. And we try to keep it Yahoo free over here. All right, guys. It's time to talk about the news. Wanted to point out that BitMEX funding rate will have an updated funding rate here in 43 minutes. Predicted funding rate is still positive. Current rate is still positive. So longs are still paying shorts. Shorts are still being incentivized to hold positions. And we also saw open interest rising as price was moving down. Not a bullish sign. Not a bullish sign. So again, just reversion to the mean, movement to the upside after a very, very swift movement, highly possible, in fact, quite probable. But as far as is long the best direction to be in on a non-scalping basis, I don't think so. I view this as a pretty negative bearish move, pretty significant breakdown. All right. So we were following this. I was following this pretty closely over the weekend. Bitcoin Cash did a planned hard fork, and an unknown at that point in time mining pool continued to mine the old chain, leading to quite a bit of money loss, honestly, for these miners. And I just want to kind of take this opportunity to talk about this. So the Bitcoin Cash network underwent a hard fork last week, and it would appear that an unknown mining pool of Bcash miners wasted a lot of resources and lost a lot of opportunity cost by continuing to mine on the old chain. Now, the fork itself was said to bring relatively simple changes to the Bitcoin Cash consensus mechanism, mostly minor technical improvements centered around the introduction of Schnorr signatures and enhanced scripting features. Now, the update wasn't expected to be contentious or to result in a split of the chain. However, it now seems that certain miners and nodes totaling about 25% of the BCH network failed to update to the latest client and remained orphaned from the old chain. Remained orphaned on the old chain. So in total, miners spent resources mining 14 empty blocks on a chain the majority of BCH, the BCH network considered invalid and rejected through their consensus algorithm. And according to Fork Monitor, which is part of BitMEX's analytics division, let's see here. I'll pull that up for you right here. This is Fork Monitor right here, as you guys can see. And here are the tweets from BitMEX Research regarding this hard fork. So according to this, they said the original rules chain has no transactions other than the Coinbases due to the transaction replay protection measure. Non-upgraded Bitcoin Cash miners just appear to be wasting resources. Now, not only did these miners spend valuable resources mining the now orphan chain, but they also missed the potential block rewards that they could have earned if they would have just remained on the update, or not remained, but if they would have upgraded to the updated chain. About, I believe, 25 BCH lost, but potentially more because now that's a larger block size than I'd originally calculated back on Saturday. Now, of course, Bitcoin Cash has had a very interesting history to date. For those of you who are unaware, for some reason, it did emerge from the main Bitcoin chain on the 1st of August 2017, and we actually went and talked. I've got a video about this out. I think it's The Truth About Craig Wright and Bitcoin Cash SV. Check that out on the YouTube channel. It's really, really good video. I put a lot of time to that. Now, there was honestly, the saga of the Bitcoin Cash split and the BIP that was put out to basically extort miners into signaling for SegWit it's just a fascinating piece of Bitcoin's history. And now at the time, the Bitcoin community was at odds with itself on the direction in which to take Bitcoin in order to address the scaling issue, among other fundamental uses of Bitcoin. Now, honestly, people like myself who are Bitcoin maximalists would like to just say, oh, it wasn't an issue. You just had this toxic element. But at the end of the day, just looking at the free market is able to decide on what chain is more valuable. The free market decides. The miners vote with their hashing power. I think largely they've signaled that they've voted for Bitcoin, as Bitcoin Cash seems to be largely in my opinion, a failed experiment, but it still retains a mining pool. It still retains miners who are mining it for the economic incentive. But again, if we just look at the opportunity cost lost by those miners by mining Bitcoin Cash and not mining, anyways, I digress. Now, the whole affair led to a great deal of bad blood in the community, but of course, with Universal Bitcoin and UBTC and all these other things that have been existing, there already was bad blood. And we talked about this in Friday's video as well, when we talked about the truth about Bitcoin. And again, that ongoing drama and debate lead up to this day. Now, the Bitcoin Cash chain itself went on to experience a similar split, with the community breaking down into two segments, Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Cash SV, or BSV. Which again is just leading, in my opinion, to more of this toxicity, more of this disagreement, more of splitting the community, more of moving the goalposts, more of painting everything red. But again, they're more than welcome to do so. Now, this would be an easy opportunity for me to take stabs at Bitcoin Cash for the hard fork. But the reality is this: if I'm going to take stabs at Bitcoin Cash for this, then I have to take stabs at Ethereum for the Constantinople upgrade. If we just reverse back in time a little bit, so I want, before you guys throw stones and eggs at Bitcoin Cash, at least do it for the right reason, let's just reverse back in time a little bit, just a while ago, and talk about the Constantinople hard fork or upgrade to Ethereum, to the Ethereum main chain. Now, when that actually went into, when Constantinople was pushed to the main chain, almost all of the Latin American, what was it, like 15% of the network failed to upgrade? And that's a much larger network than Bitcoin Cash. It's a much larger network than Bitcoin Cash. And that resulted in Ethereum having to push out another fork, the St. Petersburg fork, to fix the original issues from the Constantinople fork and bring everything back into consensus. So this stuff happens. Obviously, Ethereum just trucking right along. That happened during a very boring time in the market, led to a little bit of volatility, but obviously not the volatility that a bullish trend would be emerged from, or a bearish trend would be emerged from. So we're in a slightly different state right now, but people are asking, did that lead to the BCH latest move to the downside? No, it followed Bitcoin. So whether or not this fundamentally caused any market movements, I think is just pure speculation at this point in time, and I don't think that it had any influence on Bitcoin as well. Again, this happened just a few days ago. Can we have better elevator music than the others do? Well, we can try, my friend. Michael Narano, thanks so much for the sub over there, my friend. Okay. And let me know what you guys think. You guys feel we should be critical about Bitcoin Cash for this? Is this kind of a egg in their face? Shit happens. Just be interested to know. All right. Now the other, but there is a coin that that I'll never pause in taking stabs at, and this is XRP. Now, the headline of this title from the Daily Hodl says, Ripple executive reveals $500 million strategy to bring XRP and crypto into the mainstream. And this is the boss of Ripple's fundraising and development arm, Xspring. And recently, he revealed how Ripple Labs is planning on attracting mass adoption of the XRP token through their new marketing campaign. This gentleman's name is Ethan Beard. He's a senior vice president at Ripple, and he says that their company is implementing two strategies: one to reel in financial institutions, and another to bring XRP to any person or company interested in utilizing digital assets. He says, quote, I think one way to think about what we're building is that we have almost a top-down strategy that is working directly with financial institutions, providing them with enterprise software that's already customized for their world and lets them tap into the power of XRP. Then we have a bottom-up strategy where we're looking at just starting with XRP and other cryptocurrencies, and then focusing on developers and letting them integrate XRP and integrate cryptocurrency into their currently existing applications. It seems to me that at some point they meet. Now, how and where they meet seems to be unclear. And it's not crazy to think that the vast majority of money should be in some way moving over to cryptocurrency, somewhere in the payment stack. And where that meets will be interesting to see. Now, so far, more than $500 million has been committed by Xspring to a wide range of companies building on blockchain technology. Now, while some may grumble about Ripple's marketing offensive and may prefer a more organic grassroots growth and development in cryptocurrency projects, it's undeniable how centralized command and control structures with vast amounts of money at their disposal to throw at marketing and incentivization of projects, how that can help drive awareness and adoption, maybe unfortunately. Now, others wonder how XRP under these circumstances doesn't qualify as a security in the eyes of regulators. And why does this not begin to invoke the wrath of the SEC or the CFTC or the other American regulatory bodies? Now, with many aspiring projects in the crypto space showcasing great technology, it's possible that the crucial recipe for success may center around marketing and a promotional budget, with more decentralized projects struggling to compete. Now, I want to make this very, very clear because I always say this. Ripple owns more than half of the total supply of XRP and regularly sells portions of its holdings to fund its core business and its investments. And according to Beard, Xspring is just getting started. And I want to point out the fact that we have not seen any of this marketing or growth move the price up. If you look at XRP related to any other token, I just want to lay to rest, as I do many times. Investing in XRP is not investing in Ripple. You have companies like Google and Andreessen Horowitz, just to name a few, investing in Ripple the company, but they're not investing in Ripple the company by buying the XRP token. They're investing in Ripple the company by taking share in the company. So, again, as I've said, tokenomics, tokenomics, okay? That's the only thing that drives altcoin prices up. Now, we have new altcoin investments that are emerging on the marketplace today, and those are securitized token offerings, STOs. Those are actually backed up by an underlying security. And those fascinate me, and we're going to see more and more of that. As an American investor, I've been lucky enough to engage with two of those projects that I feel have high rate. Now, or again, are good projects. So I do think that for more traditional investors who are comfortable trading cryptocurrency, but are not kind of sold on the idea of investing, are not sold on the idea of Bitcoin as a store of value or any of these altcoins as a store of value, really that buy and hold indexing strategy. I think that we're going to see a big change in the market over the next 5 to 10 years as we see STOs come in, as we see securities get tokenized, as we see economies begin to shift from the current way that we do things over to a more digital environment, to a more decentralized and blockchain environment, which I think is the writing's on the walls here, people. Insert, welcome the XRP hate. Welcome the XRP hate. When are the Christmas decorations going up? Christmas the 1st. We're going to see mass adoption of Ripple in Star Citizen. How exciting. Trickle-down economics has made its way to crypto. ETH1 asks me if he should invest some money in XRP. I already bought some Ethereum, basic attention token, and Bitcoin. So I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. That's a personal decision. What I will say is, as myself, as an investor, I invest in things that I fundamentally believe in, that I think, wow, this is going to change the world. That would be Bitcoin and some other projects that I'm invested in. XRP is not part of my holdings. Probably will never be. I just don't buy the narrative. Now, I don't fault anybody who is invested in the XRP token. They've read the same stuff. They've looked at the research, and their analysis tells them that this is a buy. That's fine. We're all in this crypto world together. There is a deeper thing that's going on here where we are attempting to just improve the world and live our best lives, guys. So I'm not sitting here as somebody. I don't think that XRP is awful and evil. I don't think that XRP investors are awful and evil. I do think that people who are running around, but again, people did that with Bitcoin, so I can see where the gold bugs were like, I can't take these people running around shilling BTC. Don't they know that's going to zero? I don't want to be that guy. You guys invest in what you believe in and buy things that you believe that you can hold forever and pass down to your children. I think that's the best investment strategy. But do I think that XRP represents a good allocation of one's portfolio? I don't. I actually don't. Now, Bank of America has started terminating some accounts, guys. We haven't seen this for quite a while. We have not seen banks actively discriminating against cryptocurrency investors. So the Bank of America is beginning to throw customers overboard, with two high-profile figures from the world of tech recently reporting their accounts being shut down by the commercial banking giant. A former PayPal executive and current Sequoia Capital partner, I'm going to mispronounce this as well, Roloff Botha, was notified by the Bank of America that his checking and savings accounts would be closed within 30 days, providing no other additional explanation. The irony of the situation was, of course, not lost on the crypto Twitter space. As commentators noted, this is exactly what PayPal did to them. As a private company, PayPal has chosen in the past to lock out its customers from its accounts over what some consider fairly arbitrary reasons. Others have voiced concerns that PayPal and other financial institutions have shown a streak of politically biased censorship in the application of bans to their users. So if Bank of America would do this to a partner at Sequoia and a former CFO of PayPal, they'll do it to anyone. Banking and payments are a civil right. There should be a law, noted one user on Twitter. Now, in his reply to Mr. Botha, Justin Sun described receiving a similar notification about the Bank of America closing down his account as well. Now, while it isn't clear the exact reasons behind the closure of their accounts, the leading assumption is it relates to the prohibited purchases of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency using the account, which is still one of the rules over there. Now, Jesse Powell, founder and CEO of the US Bitcoin exchange Kraken, shared his story when several of his accounts were halted and shut down by the likes of PayPal, the Bank of America, and Chase. He replied to the thread by saying, "PayPal locked up all the money I had for 6 months, and I almost lost my business and apartment." Now, others consider the fallout of Bank of America terminating client accounts as good news for the crypto space, particularly Bitcoin. Permissionless, trustless technology from the world of crypto effectively solves some of the issues of unchecked authority in the world of finance, and the ability of big finance to deplatform or deperson individuals or based on prevailing social or political winds. Now, while big banks have been doing this for years, it hardly receives any attention until high-profile individuals see their accounts canceled and make a big fuss. Now, while cryptocurrency technology treats financial services as a basic human right, traditional big finance appears to treat banking as a privilege to be revoked at any time. So where do you guys fall in this argument? Bullish for Bitcoin, bearish for Bitcoin? To me, this is just another great example, and I feel like, unfortunately, we can potentially see more of this. But again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're going to see more of this or less of this. It's the fact that it can happen. It's the fact that it can happen. Time to delete Bank of America. Just backspace that baby right on out. Just want to say, man, I'm really excited for the new stuff that we're going to be rolling out at Kraken Cryptocurrency here pretty soon. You know, we've been working really hard on the website membership integration. So that will be done very soon. And we've put a lot of time and energy onto that. And once we're done with that, I can really go on to focus really passionately on the other projects that I've been on. But it's a little skunkworks right now, so not supposed to say too much about that. But very excited about all the progress that the team members are making. And I want to invite you guys to come into the Discord and hop in that live voice chat channel. Get yourself a good pair of headphones and just talk to us. You know, let us know where you're at. We've got a great community in there, and you guys definitely are missing out if you don't engage one another. definitely are missing out if you don't engage one another. Okay, so we've talked about and I think we'll take the opportunity to talk about Anonymous tomorrow. We'll talk about Anonymous tomorrow. So let's get over to our D-Livers over here and show some love. And we're going to be opening up this D-Live chest in about 5 minutes, guys. Thank you, Saintsy and Forza World. Let's get back over to Mr. Bitcoin. Nice 2% bounce off the lows so far, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can get a nice strong close higher to coincide very well with this daily continuation signal. And overall, I'll be happy. I mean, overall, I'll be happy trading the broad market because trading is going really well right now. But seems like we should be getting a... Hey, Johnny, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Crypto Mises, thanks so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, my friend. Welcome to the community. But whether we do end up getting a trend reversal here, and then we get the long signal when price retraces here a little bit, meaning we have to exit any daily short that we open tonight, that'll be great. That'll be great. So let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat, my friend. All right. Get the tunes going here. Have a nice, relaxing 20 minutes here to just chat. Hey, what's going on, Ken? Bought some wireless earphones, Impal Flame 2s. Highly recommended. 13 hours of battery life. Really comfortable. $18 on AliExpress. Check them out because I need some new wireless earbuds. What I really want is just one earpiece. So I'd like them where you can disconnect them. So something like AirPods. Hey, Zulu, welcome to the community, man. Let's check out, what did you say, Link? Hey, Ken, what's going on, friend? Check out Link. The Stinky Linky from Mr. Ether? Of course, my friend. I need to get my gimbal set back up. Where is that? Oh, yeah. Doubles as a very nice phone stand. Let's set that back up right. Freudian slip of the tongue. Link USD. On Coinbase. This looks like the Bitcoin chart. Dear Lord. Let's see here. Trend reversal on this candle right here. Exit signal or potential short signal from Minx if we're just doing Minx crossovers. So early entry on Minx on this candle right here. We're going to have short confirmation on this candle, actually. So we don't have margin. Kraken doesn't do link margin. So we can't short link. Watch out. Serge taking out the big guns. It just helps me. Engine USD. Yeah, Engine was a big winner for us as well. Or no, that's Enigma. Sorry, I was an Engine coin. Ooh, yeah. Enigma's doing very, very good. Yeah. Let's go take a look. Early entry signal right here. And you would have made a very small profit, but that's good for chop. Entry here and exit here. So you made about 3%. And then re-entry signal on the next candle per haul. And then re-entry signal on the next candle per parallax. And gorgeous, man. Gorgeous. Now, parallax is overheated right now. So, I mean, you see three big old, nice, beautiful candles like that. Freebird says, tell us about the next crisis, bro. With the repo and everything, what's the best way to get ready? When is the next gold buy if you already got some? So, you know, honestly, my consistent answer to that is a comprehensive approach to the markets. You know, everybody is really worried about the upcoming stock crisis, or the now what they're talking about is the index fund bubble. I don't think so, you know, and I've been fairly consistent with this. I don't think we're on the verge of economic collapse. I don't think we're on the verge of a recession. I think there's a lot of things that are worrying. I think there are things that are slightly broken. I think there are things that can be fixed. And overall, again, I'm in cryptocurrency because I think that many systems have systemic problems at their core. But we have a very highly well-functioning economy. And the last crash, every crash we've seen have been buying opportunities, So the best way to be protected is to start the right way. If you are an investor, we'll step aside from trading and then we'll add trading here in just a second. If you're an investor, what you want to build is a diversified portfolio. And that is going to consist of index funds, which I think are great, especially if you're just starting out, stocks, individual stocks. Yeah, FX hedging is actually a little bit more advanced, but pretty good. So like some foreign currencies like the Chinese yuan or the Russian ruble. There's all kinds of cool foreign investments that you can put your money into. REITs are a great way to get real estate exposure if you don't have tons and tons of cash to buy the underlying asset of the real estate itself. Cryptocurrency, precious metals. You know, having your money broadly distributed is a fantastic way to protect it against economic collapse. So you take hits in some sectors, but other sectors bounce up. And overall, the total hit to your portfolio, even if everything begins to go down, well, then it would have been very hard to protect your money in the first place if everything goes down and it's a total meltdown. And if there is a total financial meltdown, unless you are building a bunker, or unless you require money to get into, you know, like the super secret FEMA bunker somewhere, if there is a true collapse, then what you're going to be worried about is not how much money you have in your bank account. It's going to be how many bullets, bandages, and MREs do you have. So again, I think that's having an emergency supply, having an emergency store, having plans, like just like back during the Cold War, you know, most cities had nuclear fallout contingency plans, right? And that wasn't dumb or paranoid. It was paranoid, but it wasn't insane. Just like I think individuals should have a plan for what they're going to do, for their family's survival in the worst case scenario, you know, having some place to go, making sure that you don't have to go hardcore and set up a bunker in your basement. You don't have to go hardcore and, you know, set up rainwater catching systems, but you should know how to do things like that, right? You should know how to do things. You know, it takes, you know, a couple months of educating yourself on YouTube and reading some books and reading some blogs, and you're going to be doing much, much better than other people. You know, like if you don't have a garden, like go plant a garden just so you're used to that, just so you're used to growing food. Like if you don't understand how to collect rainwater, like just go set up a barrel and a bucket outside so that you're at least doing that passively, right? You know, I think these are smart things for people to do. But from the investment standpoint, I think that having a good diversified portfolio is good. I don't think people should throw all their money into Bitcoin. I don't think people should throw all their money into XRP or gold or silver. I think that people should hold index funds. I think that people should hold REITs. I think that people should hold foreign currencies because they're strong. And if the stock market takes a 50% cut, I'm going to be buying like nobody's business. I have money set aside just in case markets dip or real estate prices go significantly down, things like that. And very similar for cryptocurrency. And just once you get in the habit of that and you start at some point in time putting your money into things that appreciate and valuate over time, you know, in 10 years, you begin to start moving your positions around and you begin to start managing this portfolio of yours. Now, from a trading perspective, again, that's why I like trading. Trading, in my opinion, again, let me point this out here because perhaps this is not a point that I've made in enough detail. Trading is a way to earn active income that does not rely on one particular sector, because as a trader, you can trade anything. Let's say volatility dries up in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is not attractive to trade. It's not profitable. Okay, we'll go trade stocks. Let's say stocks are not attractive to trade. Okay, we'll go trade Forex. Forex is not attractive to trade. We'll go trade commodities. You know, you can, as a trader, you can move, you can be nimble, you can be agile, you can go where the money goes, and you can take advantage on your strategy. Okay, Google, why are you listening to me? Thank you. Appreciate that. Spy device. But you know, as a trader, it doesn't matter whether the market's going up or going down. I can make money and I don't have to be worried about where I'm invested. I can look at my investments to garner me through the long term and be that way for my goal to build generational wealth for my children. And I can look at my trading as a way to, doesn't matter if the manufacturing sector is taking a hit, doesn't matter if the retail services industry is taking a hit, doesn't matter what sector is taking a hit, doesn't matter if I can be gainfully employed. As long as I have capital in a market to trade, I can survive basically in any market conditions. Entire stock market takes a tank, cool, you can short. Entire stock market's in a bull rush, cool, you can short. Bitcoin's in a bear market, you can short. Bitcoin's in a bull market, you can long. You know, so I really have a lot of confidence and appreciation for the world of speculation, because it allows you to have financial freedom, because it means that if you're an investor and you're in a bull market, you're making lots of money. If you're in a bear market, you're losing money. If you're a trader, you can be making money. Doesn't matter which way the market's going, and it doesn't matter what market you're trading, right? That's why it's so critical. I tell people this This is a real lifestyle that you can live. You can work from home. You can be your own boss. You can spend more time with your family. You don't have to stare at the charts, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. You don't have to obsess. You don't have to beat yourself up. You can exercise and live healthily and enjoy activities with your family, just like I do and just like many of our traders do. But you got to stop looking at the 5-minute chart, and you got to start raising your time frame, taking a systems approach, building a trading strategy, building a system, back testing it, understanding your statistics, understanding hedging, and just put the work in. And you've got this whole world that opens up to you. Yeah, I said the secret activation word. All right. Let me look at... Brock Pierce identified as 2017's lone tether whale from Coin Jazeera. Look at that hat. This article is very, very amusing to me. Brock Pierce is the Forrest Gump of crypto. Plus, he's really good at ping pong. Drugged up on alcohol, MDMA, ketamine, LSD, and churro dust? Jesus, that's a lot. Oh, chess time. Of course, man. Where am I? Let's do this. Boom, bam, distribute rewards, done. This writer is awesome, dude. Yeah, power up, Boykaz. Power up, my friend. And go. We got big winners from Forza World, Lefty on Fire, Big Saintsy, Poikaz, and Laziest. Thanks, guys, so much for the support and the love, my friends. We'll do this chess thing same time tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow we might be coming in here saying,
it's over 9,000!
And we'll see. This article is the best thing that I've ever read recently. You guys have to read this. This is awesome. Come on, let me get in here. YouTube always gives me trouble here in the back end. There we go. You guys got to check out this article, man. Listen, this article is completely satire. All right, there's nothing in here that's true, okay? But it's so good. It's so good. Put the link in the description. Yeah, I could do that. There we go. I put the link in the description for you guys. More Dragon Ball Z? Well, we can do... Lady presents Bitcoin chart to employers. We can do Brock Pierce actively hacking the Bitcoin charts. The other ones I got a chroma key out in Premiere, but one of these days. Well, guys, it is 2 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock. You guys know what that means. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. I've been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and co-founder at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. Make sure to join us in the Discord, link in the description below, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com, to stay plugged into the community when the live stream isn't live. We're there all day long, trading, doing our thing. Love to meet you guys and grow together as a community. Excuse me. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, please leave them in the comment section down below here on YouTube. And if you do so, you'll also be entered for a chance to win tomorrow's crypto comment giveaway, where we do give away crypto every single day on this channel. If you guys are new, experienced, or aspiring traders, if you guys would like to trade with us, if you guys would like to learn directly from our team, then make sure to check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link is right above me and in the description below. Make sure you guys go register for the ByBit Brawl under our team. 100 BTC maximum prize pool. Looking to bring it in for the team this year, guys. You guys can sign up at ByBitBrawl.crackingcryptocurrency.com. If you haven't registered at ByBit, you can do so at ByBit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Links in the description of the YouTube video. Sir or ma'am, not discriminating, not assuming your gender. And if you like listening to amazing crypto informational podcasts, make sure to check out our Breaking Bitcoin podcast at breakingbitcoin.money. Yes, that is breakingbitcoin.money. You can even ask your Google Assistant, hey, let's listen to the latest episode of Breaking Bitcoin, and you will hear my golden voice coming right out of your Google Home Mini, for those of you who own one, unfortunately. Let's see here. Make sure you guys go check out the ByBit tutorial video and the particle interview with Cap. It was fantastic. Let us know down in the comment section too what videos you would like to see more of, what we could change, what we could do better, what you guys are interested in us discovering. Again, we will not be here on Friday or the following Monday this week. So the 22nd and the 25th, no live streams. But Friday, I will be uploading my video on how to keep your Bitcoin indestructible. So definitely check that video out when it drops noon on Friday, Central Standard Time. Starting this evening, at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time every evening, we will have a Breaking Bitcoin Bits episode coming out. So you can catch the highlights of previous shows that we think are very critical. It'll cover everything from society to psychology, to trader discipline, to technical strategy, to fundamental analysis. Everything in between in the middle, we capture a lot on the stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. Give us a follow on DLive and Twitch. Thank you guys so much for your support. Love you guys all. Have a great day. Trade safely.